threats,
Mr. Khan, Mr. Khan.
Don't push your luck with me.
anger,
Don't, sir, don't.
desperation.
I'm going to call my dog out. I'm going to call my dog.
What happens when debt
I know my rights. Do not touch me again.
tracks you down?
I'm not even paying a penny of it.
Up and down the UK,
Nobody have that kind of cash.
we see Britain's most resilient High Court enforcement agents
Can't believe that's been in it.
dealing with every debtor's worst nightmare.
It's my daughter's birthday today.
Because if you can't pay,
I really don't have any money to make payment.
they'll take it away. Research has shown that late payments pose a major problem for small and medium-sized businesses. Nearly 1 in 3 payments to small companies are late, and this is estimated to cost the UK economy £2.5 billion a year. High Court enforcement agents Max Caraher and Steve Pinner are in southwest London to collect a debt of almost £2,000 owed by cafe owner Waleed Adamu.
Okay, Max, we're now approaching Tooting. Where are we off to?
We're off to see Mr. Waleed Adamu.
Mr. Adamu owes the money to a bakery goods supplier whom he failed to pay.
That's it, Broadway Cafe. Yep.
Is there space down?
I don't know.
The claimant escalated the case to the High Court, and now Mr. Adamu must pay in full today.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
Are you Waleed?
No, I'm not Waleed.
I'm here to speak to Waleed Adamu.
It's not here Waleed anymore. That's my ID here.
The man shows Max a credit card. It's not in Mr. Adamu's name, but Max and Steve need to make further enquiries.
Oh, you're a guardian.
My name's Max Caraher.
Yeah,
my
nice
colleague
to meet
Steve
you.
Pinner. We're enforcement agents. We've been sent here with a High Court writ, sir.
You're looking for Waleed.
Yes, we
Waleed
are.
is not here anymore.
Did he used to own the business?
Yeah, it's not anymore.
So who are you, sir? Are you the boss of the new business?
No, because I'm helping on the shop. Just for helping.
You're just a chef
Yeah,
there.
boss is not here.
Who operates from here?
There is someone who's not here.
But we can solve all this if perhaps we get the boss on the phone.
I don't know. So leave me to what there is Peter.
You don't know the boss? Who pays your wages?
Me, I'm helping here. I'm not working here.
The problem we have is that until we see photographic ID of who owns it or who rents it,
alright.
with no disrespect to you,
Yeah.
I could give you my credit card and you
yeah.
could show me.
Yeah, and I said.
But Max is sceptical of the man's claims and starts a search of the premises.
Yeah, I'm going to go look around the till. Sorry. Waleed Adamu, trading as the Broadway Kitchen, which is where we are. They can't get us in touch with him.
The pile of letters on the counter are all addressed to the debtor.
My friend, who do you call if there's a problem here? You don't know?
You must have an emergency contact. You must.
No.
But then another man arrives at the cafe.
Hi there, Mr.
Waleed Adamu.
Hello?
Nice to meet you, sir.
The man is the debtor, and he wants answers.
What's the problem now?
We need to collect £1,909.
No,
You choose, sir. You either pay for it or we
I don't
enforce
pay
the
for
rent.
it.
Then we remove goods.
We'll do it. You're not scaring me.
I'm not scaring
I'm
you, I'm
telling you
just
something
stating a
because
fact.
I know on my right.
Okay.
The business is somebody else's name.
Okay.
You're not allowed to take anything. All this money, believe me, I'm not going to pay a penny.
Why is that? I know because you're
no
arguing
man,
with me.
listen to me.
No,
because
I'm not,
there
you're
is
going to
no
shout at
person.
me. You're going to shout
because
at me.
you try to explain to you.
Okay,
You're not
explain
chasing me
without
up. Or you're going to put the knife on my neck to pay the money which is not mine.
Okay, well
You
it is.
understand
The High
that?
Court have decided it is yours to pay.
Whatever it is, I will go to the court. I will do respect the court, but the reason I wasn't in the court.
If you respect the court,
that's the problem.
You'll
Yes.
pay it.
What do you mean?
The High Court commanded you to pay it.
You affect my business today big time.
You've affected
you know what I mean?
your
You
own
come
business,
in here,
sir.
you're making a scene. It doesn't work like this.
But
you
when
know
there's
what I mean?
contractors here removing goods, it will cause more
Listen,
problems.
this is not the way you behave with the people. You come
Okay.
into the premises and you come in like I would remove your goods. Why are you going to remove my goods for?
Why?
Well, yes.
You've just said they're your goods.
Yeah.
I thought they weren't your goods.
It's my business, yes.
After claiming the business wasn't his, Mr. Adamu has changed his story.
Well,
Seriously, you got in my nerves.
Well,
because the way you're
unfortunately,
dealing with me,
are you-
I don't like it. You know
are you
what I
gonna
mean?
pay it and then we'll leave?
Listen to me.
Yes.
Could you just get out from the bar there and
No.
come back this side?
With no payment looking likely, Max and Steve start an inventory of seizable goods. But Mr. Adamu isn't calming down.
Why you are like making me wind up? Because you're telling me
Try not to.
that you're gonna move the goods and all these things.
That
That's
is-
not the way you behave with the people. You're gonna remove all the goods here.
Yeah.
Because
And that's worth bloody £20,000. You're taking a piece of
It won't be worth 20 grand at auction. I'm telling you, sir, unfortunately, we
That's how
have to
we have to
remove if we don't get any payment. We have to.
Don't
Is
go
it-
like pushing,
Is it-
alright?
So just
He is a good in his job,
Okay,
but the
yeah.
way you're talking, you
Yes.
wind up people because we're already in the problem here. You
Sir,
understand?
you got to pay it.
You've been silly.
I'm not being silly.
Here you go.
Oh.
When you finish, you close the door. There you go.
that was a different
Sir, we
Take
can't
bloody
take.
fucking kids. Are you
We
not gonna
can't
scare
take
me?
it.
Listen.
I'm not trying to scare you at all.
You're not gonna scare me.
How am I trying to
Close
scare you?
fucking shop now.
Don't swear
and
at
take
me.
all the fucking.
Don't swear at me.
Go away. Listen, no one's gonna make me press on the bloody.
Don't
fucking
swear at me.
I swear in my property. Don't fucking go like, pushing me. If you are a man, fucking clear it now. Fucking clear it now.
please.
This simple job has turned into a highly charged standoff,
You're not gonna scare me, believe me.
with Mr. Adamu refusing to calm down. The agents will have to act fast to stop this case from spiraling out of control. Max Caraher and Steve Pinner were in southwest London to recover nearly £2,000 owed by a cafe owner.
Who operates from here?
The man they first met denied the debtor, Mr. Adamu, still owns the cafe.
Yes, we
Well,
are.
it is not here anymore.
But then Mr. Adamu arrived.
Hi there, Mr.
Walid Adamov.
He said he couldn't pay.
I'm not gonna pay penny.
But as Max started listing assets, Mr. Adamu began to lose his temper.
Listen, no one's gonna make me press on. If you are a man, fucking clear it now.
Now, the agents have to try and get this case back on track. But Mr. Adamu is still angry.
I came into this country with £2 in my pocket, do you understand? You just put it in your head. And no one fucking make me pressure to make a loan. I don't do loan.
Sir, you need
I
to
cash
take
in
a
my
deep
pocket.
breath.
That's what I'm paying.
Sir,
Do you
chill out.
understand?
You're not listening, okay?
I'm not
You're not
listening
listening.
to you. Clear it.
Wow. He doesn't like you. Oh, not a good day.
With the debtor now gone, the agents have no choice but to remove assets in his absence, adding further fees to the debt. But as the equipment would fetch a fraction of its worth at auction, Max and Steve will have to clear a substantial amount of goods to cover the money owing. Max calls the office to get the client's approval to begin the process.
Hi, Alison. It's all kicking off down here. This defendant has refused to pay. Could you speak to the client? They've got two choices: either removal of the assets that are here, or they aren't going to get anything. Cheers, bye.
But then, Mr. Adamu returns.
The business is worth £100,000. For £1,900, you're gonna shut my business.
2,500.
That's
It's gone up.
Pizza oven
Yes.
for £2,000.
Okay, at
Yes.
auction it won't cost £2,000.
How much are you gonna cost? £1?
No idea.
How much?
I don't.
We don't
Show
know.
me the auctions then. I'm gonna buy all equipment from there.
You can go to the auction.
Yeah, show me.
Do me a favour.
Yes.
Don't shout at me. Yeah, okay.
I shout. Is there a problem for you?
It is.
Yeah,
I'm not going to
I don't
listen.
care. If you
I'm
don't
just
like
gonna-
it, move.
No, we've got to take the goods. Okay, you'll lose them because of your stubbornness.
You're a geezer, you know the tricks, you know what I mean? You're tricky, you know
I'm
what I mean?
tricky.
You're a street boy, you know what I mean?
I'm a street
You
boy.
like, you know the tricks, you know what I mean? You play with me.
I'm not playing with you.
Don't take in a piss.
I'm not taking
Alright?
a piss out of you.
Because the way you're talking, you're telling me that fucking worth like £1. That oven, yeah? How much worth? How much?
No idea. It's
You live in the UK, come on, come on.
Well, Lee,
Come on, you know the prices. How much that?
No idea.
How much?
No idea.
So what are you telling me then it's not worth in £20,000?
I'm telling you that it's not worth £2 grand at all.
What do you mean?
I'm not going to speak about this further because you won't listen. Okay?
While Max continues making the inventory, Steve tries to reason with Mr. Adamu.
we need to calm you down a little bit.
He wind me up, that guy,
Okay,
believe me.
deal with me. Okay.
Sir, I do respect you as my father. You're not that old, but I'm
I
trying to
am.
explain.
I am.
Listen, I've been through the divorce, alright? I lost my house already, alright? I pay a lot of money. I got a kid to look after. I can't go to the edge to beg people. I'm a good person. I'm paying the rate. I'm paying.
I'll tell you
things,
what,
brother.
for a good person, you're really, really loud.
I'm very loud.
You are.
I am loud.
I think the age difference of Steve and myself can really benefit a situation that is spiralling out of control. Because Steve is a few years older than me, people could perhaps talk to him as the fatherly figure.
With Mr. Adamu calmer, he makes the agents a surprising offer.
I've said
I'll
no.
give you my watch,
No.
Rolex. £7,000.
Oh, is it a real Rolex?
Take it. Bro, that's not fake.
It is fake.
Believe me, no, brother. You don't want to go with documents for that?
It's fake.
It's not.
It is definitely
Believe me,
fake.
it's not.
It's fake.
You two are never going to get
How
on.
do you know it's fake?
I've seized lots of real Rolexes in my career.
The agents can't accept the watch, but it's now 20 minutes since Max called for permission from the claimant to remove goods. And with afternoon rush hour traffic building up, Max is concerned that organising a specialist removal of heavy kitchen equipment now may prove difficult. He speaks to the office.
We will need a gas engineer
And an electrician.
and an electrician. Would need a lot of contractors if they want everything.
The office offer a solution.
Just take the coffee machine. Sure. Thanks, Alison. Bye.
However, there's a problem.
That's not mine.
If it's leased, we won't be removing it.
Mr. Adamu gets the leasing company on the phone.
Hello?
It's Capital Coffee here. The espresso machine, the grinder, belongs to us. He rents it from us.
Okay. Can you just confirm what it actually is?
It's an espresso barista espresso machine. The grinder is at an F64. It's
You're
two
correct.
examples.
Yeah, you know what? That's good enough for me. You've confirmed exactly what models they are on site. That's absolutely fine for me.
With the coffee machine out of bounds, the agents are running out of options. All they can do now is to give Mr. Adamu some extra time to come up with the money.
No good news yet. This is a control goods agreement. Sign it.
We agree.
The control goods agreement lists all the seizable assets in the cafe. Now, if Mr. Adamu doesn't pay the money he owes within the time agreed, all the items listed will be seized.
Deal.
Okay.
Deal. You guys are.
The case is resolved for now. But if Mr. Adamu breaks his promise, the agents will be back.
$1 million question. Do you think that defendant is going to make the payment as promised?
I think he will.
Yeah.
It's not 100%, and if I'm wrong, I accept that I'm wrong.
Would you like to put a sportsman's bet on that?
Don't do betting. But I will buy you a cupcake if I lose.
Fantastic.
And you can buy me dinner if I win.
This year, personal debt in the UK is expected to hit levels not seen since the 2008 financial crash. The total amount owed has increased by nearly £50 billion in the last year and currently stands at over £1.5 trillion. High Court enforcement agents Matt Highway and Gary Ball are on their way to Redditch in the West Midlands. They have a writ to recover a debt of just over £1,700 owed by an accountant to a dissatisfied former client.
Where are we off to?
We're going to see Mrs. Sandra Kanzi, and she owes £1,745.08.
Mrs. Kanzi's former client hired a new accountant who advised that sections of Mrs. Kanzi's work needed redoing.
Lovely views, aren't they?
The ex-client took Mrs. Kanzi to court to recover their costs and won. Now she must pay the money she owes in full today.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Yeah.
Can I speak to Mrs. Sandra Kanzi, please? Is she not? Could you give her a call for me?
What's it to do with?
My name's Matthew Highway, sir. I'm a High Court enforcement agent.
Oh, hello.
Here with a High Court writ today.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps if I can speak to her, we can probably get the matter resolved.
Okay.
The man, Sandra's partner, David, gets her on the phone.
Hello there. My name's Matthew Highway. I'm a High Court enforcement agent.
Yeah.
I'm at your property today with a High Court writ.
Right, okay.
So it's to do with the CCJ that went through court on Snabbedesker to the High Court for enforcement purposes. There's an outstanding balance of £1,745.08 payable.
I can't give you that money today.
Right. Is it okay to disclose the information to this gentleman? Is it your husband, is it?
Of course,
Yeah.
he's my partner.
No worries.
Yeah. Can I speak to him then?
Yeah,
And
of
then
course.
Just 1 second. Can you not borrow it from somebody? No? Yeah, you come home when you're ready. Yeah. Okay, right. I've got a mower you can have.
Right,
Those.
okay.
So we go and have a look at that?
We'd much rather, we can do, but we'd much rather not go through that process.
No, I know, but-
We'd much rather get this resolved.
Sure.
It isn't absolute fortunes.
Trouble is, we've got a big house, but we haven't got lots of...
Right, okay.
Which you'll see.
Let's go and have a look around there while we're waiting.
Come on then.
Thank you.
Whilst they wait for Mrs. Kanzi to return home, the agents go inside to look for assets they could seize if she doesn't pay. But they're in for a surprise.
Well, I've just had a Christmas tree for a while. In April.
You can see how well organised we are. That telly I have to leave on because that won't turn on. Oh, there's a piano, but that's not worth anything. We got that free. We're not very well organised, I'm afraid. Be careful as you go. There's loads of stuff everywhere.
This is the playroom.
No, my daughter's 17 today, so...
Right. Any more rooms down here, or...?
Yeah, there's a study. You can have a look in there. Yeah, that's a bit dishevelled. I say we may finish this house one day.
One day.
How long have you been here?
Quite a while. Yeah. There's not much there, I don't think.
More hoarding.
Yeah.
The large family house is in a state of disarray, and there doesn't appear to be any assets of value worth seizing.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, it's all right. Just moving the exercise bike out the way.
Oh, okay. That doesn't work, would you believe?
Now all the agents can do is wait for Mrs. Kanzi's return to see whether she can raise any cash.
I'll make you a cup of tea, but I don't think you deserve it.
All right, okay. Yes, that's what you think.
Would you like a tea?
I've been nicer to you than anybody else today.
You didn't seem very nice.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that. White, no sugar?
White with 1 sugar, please. That's all right.
No, I'm alright, thank you.
No, I won't put anything in it, honest.
I'm going to watch you, don't worry.
You know what? Worst things happen at sea.
They do? Thank you so much. Thank you.
That's all right.
Are you not married to Sandra then?
No, 28 years.
You've been together?
Yeah.
Really?
Just never got around to that either.
It's on your to-do list.
She's a little bit of an avoider.
Yeah.
She'll see something and think, I'll deal with that later.
Yeah.
And then there it is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Unfortunately, we're not able to avoid
I
it.
know. I wish you were.
Some people react with craziness, jumping up and down, physical violence, verbal abuse, and some people just haven't got it in them. I would much rather deal with it, and it is a much more pleasant experience for us.
40 minutes after she was called, Sandra arrives home.
Hi, Sandra.
Hello.
How are you?
Feeling better?
Yeah, had better days.
I wasn't ignoring this at all,
No.
but I I knew that I needed to ring somebody, but I go in and then I just get pushed and pulled all over the place by staff, clients, everybody else. And then of course it doesn't get done as quickly as it should. I'm not a bad person. I haven't done anything wrong.
No one's saying you are, mate. I've not said that at all.
No, it's all right.
And I tried to help them, and then they just, it's just ridiculous. It's my daughter's birthday today, so she's upstairs with her boyfriend, and I don't even know who's Right, okay.
Do you want a cup of tea? Because you've missed out on the run.
No, I'm fine.
How did the debt arise, Sandra?
I'm an accountant, and they were a client, and we were doing work for them. And she didn't appreciate what we were doing, so I basically said, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm not prepared to work with you. So they left, went to another accountant. He decided that he was going to change what we had done, and he was going to charge them for the privilege of it, and then they decided they were then obviously going to charge me.
And I know you've been here a long time, so you obviously got the correspondence from the county court. Why not fight your case at that point?
It's easy for everyone to say, well, you should have done this and you should have done the other, but when you just don't have enough hours in the day to even sleep almost, it's just impossible.
Despite Sandra's dispute with the claimant, Matt and Gary have to get this case resolved one way or another.
As you're aware, we've got to enforce this High Court writ. At the moment, this writ is £1,745.08.
I know you come here and you think, we've got loads of money and all the rest of it.
I don't think anything.
No, I know.
I don't think anything.
I'm just saying, no, we haven't, because my business isn't earning me any money. So we get by day to day at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think anything. I'm not making any assumptions at all. I'm just giving you black and white as to what we are here to do.
Sandra's business may be struggling, but Matt has to make it clear that if the case isn't resolved here today, the agents have the right to remove assets from her office.
There are 2 properties named on the High Court writ. One of them's here and one of them is your work address, your business, all right?
Yeah, I know, but then I can't keep my business going, can I?
The agents have been in the house for almost an hour. Now it seems that the prospect of her business being put at risk has finally prompted Sandra to act.
There's £1,400 in my account.
Can't find another...
£345.
The dog's worth a few quid.
No, can't take dogs.
When you've got crappy credit...
Yeah, she's worth £750,000 quid.
I know, but that's the problem. It's one of those where it's in the house, but we can't get at it. I've got 100 there.
I've got £65 there.
65?
But I can put probably 35 into that.
So that makes 1,600. Another tenner.
Thank you.
Right, so where are we then?
So we're £135 adrift. My maths is right.
Check again. That's all right.
I think it is.
Obviously.
David goes to make a call to see whether he can raise the outstanding £135.
So my sister's going to lend me the money. Well, I'm glad we found it.
So we should be all done in a minute, Sandra, yeah? So I'm going to leave you a copy of the writ from the High Court. Okay.
You might as well have.
Oh, don't be stupid, David.
We might as well have the AP. Have it levels it all up.
With the help of David's sister, Mrs. Kanzi's debt is paid off in full.
Have you got any other jobs to go to?
Thankfully, that's it for the day.
We've worn you out.
Mercifully.
No, sorry.
Thanks so much.
Thank
Take
you.
care,
David. Sure.
It's been a good result for the agents.
Lovely couple.
What's happening with the garage?
Needs a new door. It's on his list of things to do.
Typical example of being asset rich. Well, £750,000 quid house, but struggling to find a tenner.
Matt and Gary got the result they needed in an unexpected situation. But in Max and Paul's next case,
I really don't have any money to make payments.
a debtor in denial risks losing everything.
This can't be right.
It is, I'm afraid.
In the first quarter of 2017, nearly 300,000 county court judgments were issued against individuals in England and Wales. Rising by over a third from the previous year, they now stand at the highest level recorded in over a decade. High Court enforcement agents Paul Bohill and Max Caraher are in Pinner, northwest London. They're here to collect a debt of almost £28,000 owed by a dentist in unpaid rent.
Paul, we're off to see Dr. Parag Patel and we're looking to collect £27,966.76.
18 months ago, Dr. Patel was struck off for malpractice and barred from working for 5 years. But he failed to settle the rent bill on his exclusive central London clinic.
He's a doctor. I have a feeling these are going to be really big houses. I think it's the next left down that private road. There, big property.
Dr. Patel's landlord took him to court and won. Now he must pay the £28,000 he owes today in cash or goods.
Well, they could all not be on finance. I bet that 07 plate BM isn't. Hello, sir.
Hello?
Here to see Mr. Parag Patel.
This is my son, not here.
Where is he?
I don't know.
Whose property is this?
Family, my property.
Your property.
Other two sons' property.
Okay.
He has nothing to do here.
Certainly. Can I see the paperwork for who lives in this house?
Paperwork?
Yes.
Hey, yeah, you can come in. Come in and have a look.
I'll shut the door.
He has nothing to do here.
Despite the debtor's father's claims, this is the address on the writ, and the agents have the right to investigate whether he's telling the truth. Max immediately spots some paperwork.
Here we go. Parag Patel.
You cannot take without his permission.
I can, I'm afraid, sir.
This is not his room. Please, don't see this paper.
Here we go.
I'm telling you, we might have to take action.
The debtor's father is keen to remove the paperwork, but Max has already seen enough.
There's his mail here, there's his belongings here with his name on it. It's completely reasonable for us to assume that he resides here.
Is your son, Dr. Patel, in this country?
Yeah, he's in this country.
Is he coming out tonight?
Well, he wake up.
It's clear that this is Dr. Patel's home.
This room is your son's room.
And the agents have the right to remove goods belonging to him, even in his absence. So Max turns his attention to the expensive cars parked outside and goes in search of keys.
None of the cars outside belongs for him.
Really?
Yeah.
Max looks in the silver BMW for evidence of who owns it.
Oh, bingo. That's a good bit of information right there.
The document is the letter sent to Dr. Parag Patel, informing him of the enforcement.
In the silver BMW, there's our money order.
Don't want you.
This is all about our case. Right,
No.
well, sir, this is all about the case that we're here for.
No,
So you need to sit down and...
I'm not going to do it.
The head of the family could take a real dislike to the enforcement agents. It's his family, it's his turf, and we're there. He is going to put up a barrier, and we are often going to be met with confrontation. That's just how it is and how it always will be.
With evidence to show that the silver BMW in the driveway belongs to Dr. Patel, Max clamps it. But then someone arrives at the house.
Hello, madam.
How did you enter the house?
Peaceful entry. You opened the door and I walked in.
I don't care. You walked in the house.
Yes, correct.
But the person whom you walked
Yes.
is not here.
The woman is Dr. Patel's sister-in-law.
Madam, I've got a high court writ. Is there any way you could get him on the phone for us?
I don't have his number.
You don't
because
have
he
this number.
lives in this house
Yes.
mainly because of his. He is the son and he wants to keep him. That's why he's in this house.
The debtor's sister-in-law claims she's unable to get in touch with him. Paul heads outside to update the office. But then, suddenly, Dr. Patel arrives.
Hello, sir. You're,
didn't get
you're
entry.
Mr. Patel.
Yes.
Here's my identification. You live here?
Well, I live with my father, yeah.
We've got a High Court writ for you. You know what it's about. We found the court orders in a vehicle there. Are you in a position to make the payment?
I really don't have any money to make payments.
Is there anyone who can help you?
Not at this moment, no.
With that case, sir, I'm going to escalate this to the sale and disposal stage. Okay? The new balance is £30,737.56. We are now going to remove what assets we see fit to try and cover this debt.
Not my property.
Okay, you need to prove it.
I don't have to prove anything. I think I need to call the police. This is
Is it, so there's no need to swear?
Just deal with the car. Who does the silver BMW belong to?
my wife.
You need to prove it, or we'll take it.
How can I prove it?
Original bills of sale.
I'll see what I can find.
Dr. Patel and his sister-in-law go in search of documents to prove that the silver BMW doesn't belong to him.
Can this work?
No. This document is not proof of ownership. I can't submit that.
The tax reminder is addressed to Dr. Patel's wife, but it isn't proof that she owns the car. And with no other evidence to prove it isn't his, the agents can seize it today. But before they call recovery, Max wants to give Dr. Patel one last chance to pay.
What could you do on a monthly basis? What can you afford in your current position? Because I have to sell this to the claimant.
£100.
A couple of £100.
They won't accept that, but they would want a substantial down payment before they. So you're not earning sufficient money to make any payments towards this at all.
I've been struck up for a while now, so I put everything in there to keep it going.
Presumably you're living at the moment. You're earning
Well, I'm
money.
living because of their hospitality. It was 110,000, and I put it down to 24 with borrowed and stuff like that. Right? So it's not that I haven't paid them.
People can be at the top of their game, and then things can change, and then debt can drag them down and change the way they live, change what their family thinks of them, and then the last thing they want is enforcement agents turning up.
With no decent offer of payment on the table, Paul calls for recovery.
Helen, can we arrange to come and pick this car up if we got indemnity for it, please?
While the agents wait, Mr. Patel's father seems keen to make amends.
He is listening nicely, but you are not, you know.
I'm listening, sir.
You are young and you have got black hair. Let it be white and you will understand better than what he understands.
I will try,
And
sir.
I'm sure about it.
I will try my best to. Hopefully, with age will come wisdom.
Thank you very much for at least listening.
Take care. Be lucky.
Okay, thank you very much. Wish
you,
you
sir.
good luck.
10 minutes later, the recovery vehicle arrives.
This can't be right.
It is, I'm afraid.
The car will now be stored for 14 days. If Dr. Patel can prove within that time that the car does in fact belong to his wife, it will be returned.
It's up to her to prove it could be the original bill of sale to show that it was actually sold to her, and not you.
If you get that, give me a call.
But if no proof is forthcoming, the car will be sold at auction and the agents will be back for the balance. Research has revealed that more than 50% of small business owners in the UK are under financial pressure. To keep their businesses afloat, nearly 1 in 5 resort to using personal savings, while a third have not made any provisions for their pensions. High Court enforcement agents Matt Highway and Gary Ball are in Weymouth, Dorset, to collect over £5,000 owed by a building company to a security firm.
Mr. Matthew Penwell trading as JJP Build and Maintain Southwest Limited, and he owes £5,087.97.
The agents have been told by the claimant that he owns a working van, which could be seized if Mr. Penwell can't or won't pay today.
The defendant has a 2009 Volkswagen Transporter. Oh, there it is. Right outside the house.
It's a valuable asset. Gary takes immediate action and clamps the van. He hopes the prospect of losing it will prompt swift payment.
Okay. Big dog. Hello, sir. Could I speak to Matthew Penwell?
That's my son, yes.
Or somebody from JP Build or Maintain Southwest. You're a director of the company, are you?
I am, yes.
My name's Matthew Harris. I'm a High Court enforcement agent here with a High Court writ today. There's an outstanding balance of £5,087.97. So we're instructed to collect that balance or to seize goods to the value of. So the question is, can we get payment of this?
I'm sorry, the company is struggling financially. It's struggled for the last 6 months. Bills haven't been paid. After the last job I'd done for them, I didn't get payment in full for the work that was done. Some of it's relating to another property. He's trying to take both the company and my eldest son, who's a part of the director of the company, to court as well.
Yeah.
And it's left the business in a very bad position, to be honest.
As the debtor's father, Jeremy Penwell, is a director of the business, the agents can deal with him as well as his son.
Well, my accountant has been dealing with on my matter. Some of the claim was incorrect.
Right.
So it was all a bit strange. He preferred it back to them, and to be honest, I haven't heard anything since.
Right.
But the appeal has yet to be heard in court, and the High Court writ is active today. With the debtor's father saying they can't pay, the agents need to look for other company assets. And with the van outside, Matt needs to investigate whether the company is trading from this address.
I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I'm in my property.
You don't have any choice, sir.
Well, there's nothing in here at JJP.
Okay, if there isn't, then it'll be up to the person in the property to prove to me that the items belong to them. The vehicle has been seized, and we'll organise removal of that.
No, I'm sorry, it's company, because it's like I say, it's in my name. That was advice from my accountant.
Mr. Penwell claims he's transferred ownership of the van from the company to himself personally. He calls his accountant.
High Court enforcement officers actually have turned up. They're looking to seize the van and goods to the value of £5,300. I just need some advice how to proceed in this situation. Okay, alright. Okay, thank you very much. Bye. I'm sorry, my accountant's in meetings.
Yeah, there isn't anything the accountant can do, Jeremy.
The van's in my name, you're so adamant in taking it.
It's got the company written all up the side of the van. I'm more than happy that I would remove that as an asset of the company. Just to let you know, if we do have to go to what's called stage 3 of enforcement, it does add another £1,100 onto the debt. As much as it is our job, it's the last thing we want to do is be taking things away from people, but unfortunately, when the court's commanded it, that is what we have to do.
The van's worth more than that anyway.
We'll get an auction value on it. A lot of people don't realise, the High Court writ doesn't command me to go and collect the money. That isn't what the writ says. The High Court writ tells me to go and seize the goods of the defendant. So in other words, the court has already come to that end result that you're not going to pay because the county court have already asked you to pay and you haven't. So if payment's not forthcoming, we are there to seize goods.
Mr. Penwell hasn't provided any proof that the van isn't a company asset. It could be seized, but before they call recovery, Matt wants to give him another chance to pay.
Do you want to make any calls? Do you want us to,
I'm not sure what to do.
Give it a little bit of time. Well, I've told you there's two options in this case. You'll pay, or we'll take things away to cover the debt. I'd much rather he didn't go to taking stuff away, but unfortunately, that's in your hands. Make no mistake about it, items will go today.
Mr. Penwell now faces a stark choice. Find the cash or face losing what little he has. High Court enforcement agents Matt and Gary were in Weymouth to collect over £5,000 owed by a building company.
Could I speak to Matthew Penwell?
It's my son, yes.
The debtor's father and co-director of the company, Jeremy Penwell, seemed keen to keep his son out of the situation.
He's trying to take both the company and my eldest son, who's part of the director of the company, to court as well.
Yeah.
And it's left the business in a very bad position, to be honest.
He claimed he'd appealed the case.
My accountant has been dealing with this matter because some of the claim was incorrect.
But the High Court writ was active, so the agents seized his van.
You're also adamant in taking it.
He's got the company written all up the side of the van.
Now, the agents must try and get this case resolved, one way or another.
Can I get my mother and try and sort this out?
Is it to get the money to pay? Is that what it's for?
Partially, yes.
What's the other reason for it?
Well, she wants to come and speak to you.
Oh, right, okay.
You know, she wants to know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, fine. We do obviously have to carry on our job in the meantime, unfortunately.
While Jeremy waits for his mother to arrive, the agents search the house for a home office which may contain company assets. But upstairs appears to be a normal family home.
This is Matthew.
And how old is he?
21.
This is Matthew that the claim is against?
He's named as a company director with myself. Yeah.
Okay, and does he have anything to do with the company at all?
Not really.
No.
No, not really.
No.
I tried to bring my son into the business, but he just wasn't, he's just not interested. He's still a full-time student at Weymouth College.
The reason for Jeremy's reluctance to involve his son becomes clear. It seems that despite his son's inactivity in the company, Jeremy failed to remove him from official company records.
What you've done, Jeremy, unfortunately, you've implicated him on a High Court writ. What you've also done, in the meantime, you've given a 21-year-old lad a CCJ against him.
I'm rather impressed that the guy went after my son when he knew the problem was between him and me. I've done work for him, and there's nothing substantial about the work I've done for him, and he's completely...
Right, but unfortunately there's been a court case, and the court case has been decided by the judge, hasn't it?
Yeah, quite often we'll uncover, strange situations in the process of enforcing a writ. We just have to sort of deal with those as they come along. Sometimes you'll uncover all sorts of issues between other members of the family, but it's all part of the enforcement job.
A few minutes later, Jeremy's mother arrives.
Can you tell me exactly what is going on?
If you could tell me who you are, first of all.
I'm
yes.
Mrs. Penwell. I'm Jeremy's mother.
Jeremy's mother, of course, yeah. Is that okay, Jeremy?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, okay, so we're High Court enforcement agents, and we've been asked to attend the property today with a High Court writ.
Right.
To do with an amount of money that's been through the county court. A CCJ has been issued against Matthew, JJP Build and Maintain South West.
Are you able to tell me why he said we owed him?
I don't know. There isn't any notes on there to say that.
So what exactly... Excuse me.
Yeah.
So did you know about this court case on the 9th?
No.
You knew about this court case on the 9th, did you?
9th of May?
Yeah.
There was paperwork that came.
You haven't told me any of this.
Well, no, I haven't worried you with it because it was.
I wish at times you would.
It was so silly.
Well, we can't have your van taken, so I shall have to go and get this 5,000. That's the only what we can do.
To save her son's work van, Jeremy's mother offers to clear his debt.
So I've got to get £5,000 cash.
The outstanding balance
80-something.
is £5,087.97.
She heads off to the bank.
We see it all the time where defendants will hide their debt, hide their current situation from other family members, sometimes even their mum. They don't want to let on to other people that they're in the situation they're in. Who wants to admit that, it's all gone wrong and actually, I need you to bail me out, not being able to talk to somebody else and let them know there's a problem. It can lead to all sorts of trouble. And the end result of that, of course, is 2 High Court enforcement agents knocking your door.
Half an hour later, Jeremy's mother returns from the bank with a friend.
Can we have a receipt for the money?
Of course, yeah.
She's managed to raise the £5,000 her son owes in full. But then she spots the amount of the original county court judgment.
No. The original judgment that the claimant went to court for was £3,600.
Well, if we paid that, we wouldn't be paying 5 then.
No, you wouldn't, that's right.
Just going to get the clamp off, all right.
Copy of the writs there, Jeremy. and a receipt for the payments in full. All right. I know it's not a great circumstance, but
No, it's not.
I'm sorry. I can only be as gentle as I can be. Thank you, Jeremy. Take care.
With the debt paid in full, Gary unclamps the van and the case is resolved.
Mum was, absolutely livid. If this had been dealt with earlier, it could have been settled with £3,600, and instead today she's paying over £5,000. But it is what it is. It's done. We've got the payment for the claimant. They'll be happy.
And there's new Can't Pay next Wednesday night at 9. Over on Comedy Central next, Joel Dommett joins the lineup for Chris Ramsey's Stand Up Central. Next here on Channel 5, Fritzl, What Happened Next?
Threats,
I'm gonna call my dog. I'm gonna call my dog.
anger,
Call the police, man.
desperation.
Doesn't have a penny. Doesn't own a thing.
What happens when debt
I know my rights. Do not touch me again.
tracks you down?
Hello, is anybody in?
Up and down the UK,
Oh, you can't say that. Don't be taking my equipment.
we see Britain's most resilient High Court enforcement agents
I've busted my ass to give you what I've got now, mate.
dealing with every debtor's worst nightmare.
I will eat my hat.
Because if you can't pay,
There's absolutely nothing I can do.
they'll take it away. Research from a leading campaigning organisation has revealed that 6.5 million households in the UK are struggling with debt. The total household debt has risen by over £350 billion in the last 10 years, with the average amount, including mortgages, predicted to exceed £86,000 in 2022. 7 a.m. High Court enforcement agent Stuart McCracken and colleague Ian Taylor are in Alderley Edge, a wealthy suburb of Manchester, to collect one of the biggest debts they've ever had to recover.
A lot of money around there. Yeah. Balance as it stands at the moment is £406,273.39.
Some balance, isn't it?
The debtors, Mark and Karen, owe the money to a builder after they failed to pay him for a house they commissioned, forcing him to sell it to a bank at a loss.
Imagine being in debt for that much. It really is, in the end of the line now, he needs to make a payment. If not, then we will be removing his goods. Here it is.
With such a large sum of money owed, Stuart and Ian aren't sure how much they will be able to recover today.
Two vehicles there. Won't even scratch the surface.
But they must try and get as much as they can for the claimant in either cash or goods.
Right, let's go and have a chat.
Right.
Please wait while we're trying to connect you.
That's his car there, isn't it? Gonna give it one more lucky ring.
Stuart has already tried to get this case resolved at the property once before. As a result, he has an order from the High Court that allows them to gain entry by force if necessary.
That is a door knock. Hello, is anybody in? Hello, mate, you okay? You what, sorry? Right, okay. I'll try and give him a ring now.
Stuart gets Mark on the phone.
Hello. Hi, Mark. I'm currently at your property at the moment, sir.
Yeah, I know. My son just told me.
Yeah, we've got High Court writ, so how is it you can make payment, sir?
I can't. It's a ridiculous amount. I don't believe I owe it.
So there's no way that you can make any sort of payment whatsoever?
The most I've got is 5,000.
It's not
I accepted that. Maybe not enough.
No. No.
I've got literally £5,000. That's it.
It's not going to be enough, Mark.
I tell you what, right? I'll do this. Have a look around inside the house, right? If there's goods to the value of £5,000 in there,
Yeah.
I will eat my hat.
Yeah.
My son will let you in.
Right. Okay. Okay.
£5,000 worth of stuff that you can live over there.
Okay. No problem. I'll have a look round and then I'll ring you back, Mark.
With £5,000 appearing to be Mark's best offer, Stuart and Ian must now look for assets inside the house to help offset at least part of the debt.
Okay, I'll say Fort Knox. Cheers. Hello. Alright, no worries.
But they're in for a shock. The house is almost completely empty.
I don't feel the cupboards are empty.
Stuart goes to check upstairs. And he's in for another surprise.
Are you Karen?
Yeah.
I know it must be a stressful time, but the writ's in your name as well. There's nothing that you or Mark can do at all.
The guy's hooked up.
Yeah. He's offered a payment of 5,000, but it's not going to be nothing.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah. Well, it's £403,000 at the moment. I'll come back in a minute, obviously, but I'm just going to carry on just doing inventory of the house. All right.
Much up there?
No, looks like they've lost everything. When we do come across a defendant that has done very well and is quite wealthy, the stakes are a lot higher for them. They've got a lot more to lose, and it only takes one bad decision to land yourself in hundreds of £1,000s worth of debt.
Stuart and Ian have been at the property for half an hour. Mark hasn't called back to increase his £5,000 offer.
The statue that's in the first room on the right-hand side.
So Stuart and Ian start an inventory of the few assets of value in the house.
2 memorabilia shirts.
It's Canton now, this one as well.
Yeah.
The 2 signed Manchester United football shirts should fetch a few £100s at auction. But there seem to be few assets of any value. Even the cars outside are of limited worth. But as the claimant has instructed that everything of any value should be removed, they're added to the inventory. Stuart calls the office with an update.
We're just at this property now. It's more or less empty, Gary.
But then he hears some surprising news.
Yeah, no problem, Gary. Speak to you shortly.
It seems that the claimant has asked for a £25,000 down payment today to call off the removal. Stuart calls Mark again.
Hi, Mark. Right. Claimant wants at least 25.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. He thinks we've got other properties we don't.
But on the other side of it, though, Mark, you are living in one of the most prestigious places in the country.
There's a fucking massive mortgage on there, which I'm barely keeping up with, and there's no equity in it.
Okay, Mark, the city shortly.
It's clear that Mark can't find the £25,000 needed to stop recovery today. Stuart calls the office again.
They haven't got it. They're claiming that they haven't got it.
The claimant agrees to give the family some more time to raise the cash. Stuart calls Mark back.
Right. They're willing to accept the controlled goods agreement, which means that everything stays here for 48 hours.
That's just no good to me. We got no chance of paying this money back in 48 years, let alone 48 hours.
Right.
So he can have our busted up cars and our rubbish furniture, and he can do a statutory remand if he wants. That'd be great. It'll save me 1,200 quid. The cost of me going bankrupt. He thinks I've got 25 grand lying round. Fuck me, who's got 25 grand lying round?
It's clear Stuart and Ian have found themselves in the middle of a bitter dispute, with both sides refusing to back down, and with very few assets to use as leverage. Stuart will have to use all of his skills and experience to get this highly charged case resolved. Stuart McCracken and Ian Taylor were in Alderley Edge, Manchester, to recover one of the biggest debts they've ever chased.
Balance as it stands is £406,273.39.
The debtor, Mark, owed the money to a builder, but could only offer the agents a fraction of the debt.
I've got literally £5,000, that's it.
The house appeared to be virtually empty.
I've been through the cupboards, they're empty.
And upstairs, the situation was clearly taking its toll on Mark's wife, Karen.
Nothing here, you can see.
But when the claimant phoned Stuart with an ultimatum,
Hi Mark, claimant wants at least 25.
It became clear that Stuart and Ian were in the middle of a very bitter dispute.
He thinks I've got the 25 grand lying round. Fuck me, who's got 25 grand lying round?
Now, whatever the rights or wrongs of the situation, Stuart is duty-bound to get some kind of result for the claimant. It's clear Mark won't pay the £25,000 needed to stop recovery today, so Stuart updates Karen on what they intend to take.
The two vehicles are going with the desk in the office, the wall clock, the sound bar, the lamp that's in the hallway, the side table, the actual safe, the TV downstairs, the cinema system, the TV that's in that second bedroom there, the signed football shirts. So that's where I'm up to at the moment.
I can't begin to tell you what the stress it's caused. My husband, to be honest, has been on the edge for I can't say how long.
Yeah.
We've been fighting this.
There's only so much you can take, isn't there? Yeah, there's only so much you can take.
Just fucking take it, because
What can you do?
you've got a shit job.
I'm not going to lie, this part is, you know what I mean, usually it becomes some sort of arrangement, but very rarely it comes to this point, and it's... So what's the plan going forward then?
Trying to sell this house for since he left us in the mess that we're in.
Yeah. Right, I'll ring recovery.
Stuart heads downstairs to call for recovery.
Got the football frames.
Right, I've got to take them off for one minute.
Stuart and Ian begin to stack the items by the front door.
You do mobilisation, mate? Obviously a notice on that one. Okay. It can be extremely difficult when we're dealing with a bitter dispute because the defendant doesn't want to pay the claimant and then we'll have to remove goods. We can't use any of his goods as leverage because he wants us to take it anyway. So we're in between a rock and a hard place.
An hour later, a low loader arrives to remove the cars. Minutes later, another recovery vehicle arrives to take away the household assets.
Right, turn the lights off. I'm going to try one switch at a time and know which room's which.
Despite the claimant's request to remove as much as they can, Stuart and Ian must ensure the family have enough furniture and goods to maintain a decent standard of living.
And we'll stick these chairs back around the kitchen table. I think that's everything done on that side.
But the strain of the situation has pushed the family to their limits.
Do you like someone came in your house?
No, not at all.
The situation as it is, and
No, I understand, mate. Yeah, no, I understand that, but...
Look, you're really getting me stressed now. I'm going to phone the police. Okay.
But what the police going to do? What the police going to do? We're going in a minute. We're going in a minute.
You've hassled me. You've hassled me for hours.
I understand it's stressful, all right, but I'm here to do my job. All right? Okay. I wouldn't want two High Court enforcement agents walking inside my property, but we're cool, we're calm, we're professional. We're there to resolve the situation and diffuse any worries that people may have, but ultimately we're there to do our job and we're there to execute that writ.
With tempers fraying, Stuart gets the last items loaded and the recovery van leaves.
The list of inventories there. It's all broken down of exactly it's been taken control of.
And who does the valuation on how much it's worth?
That's it, the auctioneer's doing that. Okay. So everything's stored for 7 days. It doesn't get sold now. Okay, it is stored. So If you can try and get this sorted the next 7 days, you'll be fully entitled to get your stuff back. Okay, it's not like we're selling it straight away, it is stored.
Right, okay.
Alright. See you later. Bye. It's always rubbish when it gets to that stage, isn't it? But yeah, people aren't going to pay. It looks like that the family have had enough of the claimants. Looks like that they're living on the bare means. They're not willing to cooperate, they're not willing to make a payment, so we've had to remove the goods.
Recent research shows that 4 out of 10 private tenants spend more than 30% of their pay on rent. And parents are spending £850 million each year to help their young adult children pay for accommodation. High Court enforcement agents Gary Brown and trainee Connor Jackson are in Ashford, Kent, to recover a debt of over £11,000 owed in unpaid rent.
Our next customer is a Kerry Marden. Okay. Her and Shane Marden owe £11,133.42. Oof.
The case began 18 months ago when Kerry and Shane's former landlord took the couple to court over the rent arrears. Both agreed to pay the landlord back in instalments, but now Kerry has defaulted.
Shane Marden has been paying £15 every 2 weeks. As far as I understand, Kerry Marden has paid nothing.
Kerry and Shane have since split up, and Gary has tried unsuccessfully to get payment from Kerry on a previous visit.
Now, I've met this girl before.
Now Gary and Connor are on their way back to see her again, to get this case resolved for good.
It's actually Shane that told us her new address.
So he's not happy the fact that he's paying and she's not?
No.
Good shout, Batman.
As they arrive, they spot someone at the window with a smartphone.
Oh, they're already recording us.
Recording us walking up.
Alright, can I speak to Kerry, please?
She's not here.
Can we get her on the phone?
Huh?
Can we get her on the phone?
I'll get her on the phone, but I mean, what is it?
She owes some money.
I'll be ringing her.
Alright.
While the man, Kerry's new boyfriend, Steve, gets her on the phone, Gary takes the opportunity to make peaceful access into the house, something the writ allows him to do.
They're in the house. They've just come in the house. I didn't let them in. They've just walked in the house.
Can I speak to her?
Yeah.
She's not told you anything about this?
I don't know anything about this.
Hi Kerry, it's Gary Brown. Do you remember I came to your house about this debt?
No.
There's still £11,000 that's owed.
Well, Maya told me that he's paying it.
He's paying some money, but he's not responsible for all of it. The situation is we're here to try and set up an arrangement.
Yeah.
Or remove goods from the premises.
I've just moved in there. Do you know how bad that looks?
Well, this needs to be sorted. You brought this on yourself, Kerry.
Well, I'm trying to, but you're not coming to anything.
Okay, you said you're trying to. What efforts have you made to sort this in the last year and a half? I'll pass you back to Steve.
Hello? What's all this? 11 grand? But I mean, hang on a minute, Kerry. I've been sitting here watching TV, not knowing nothing about it all. And they've just rocked up here now, so...
It's quite a common thing to see debts being hidden from partners. And I think it's because of embarrassment sometimes, bringing up the past. Obviously there's going to be a few words and a conversation to be had between the two of them once we're out of there, but first and foremost, the debt needs to be paid.
5 minutes later, Kerry is back on the phone.
Hi, Kerry.
Hello.
How much could you come up with today?
I don't know. How much?
We normally ask for half of the money, which is £5.5 grand.
Right.
If you can come up with £5.5 grand, then I think that would be reasonable, and then we'll do an arrangement for the rest.
Alright.
Alright, bye.
Gary and Connor give Kerry some time to try and raise some funds. But it's clear that Steve is still in shock about the agent's visit.
It's a nice area around here. I don't need this on my doorstep. No. Do you know what I mean? I know you're doing your job. Do you know what I mean? I ain't got a problem with that.
Steve, I completely sympathise with you, mate.
Yeah, what's this? Hello?
Kerry calls again.
I just want to speak to you.
Hello?
Hi.
My granddad said he can write me a cheque for 6,000 to give to you now, if that's okay.
We can't take cheques because it's not cleared funds, I'm afraid. We can take debit or credit card if your granddad's
They
got...
can take credit cards, but they can't take cheques. It's not acceptable no more. He's got a bank card.
Okay, because it's for that amount of money, it would need to go to the office for them to take the money. So I'll ring the office now then and tell them to expect a phone call.
Okay.
How much are you offering monthly?
100.
100 a month or 100 a week? Right.
Kerry's granddad has offered over half of the debt as a down payment. It's a surprise result, but the situation is clearly taking its toll.
Sounds really upset.
Yeah, I mean, I know what it is.
But
I mean,
she's put herself in this situation.
Because it's not that the money's owed, I reckon it's the most embarrassing thing, isn't it? Because I feel a bit embarrassed. Like, I guarantee no one will actually come up to me and say, well, what was all that about? People are made, it's Chinese whispers. Before you know it, I'm Fred West or something, and you found bodies in the garden.
30 minutes later, Gary rings the office to check the money has been transferred.
Hi Jane, has that gone through or is it just... Oh God, okay.
It seems that the payment has been declined. Gary calls Kerry.
Hello?
Hello. It got declined because my grandfather didn't realise that there was only 4,000 in the bank.
Right, I know it's not your fault, you didn't know what was in your granddad's account, but I've been here for 2 hours now.
Well,
Which...
It's not like I'm not offering to pay you nothing.
Kerry says her granddad can pay £4,000 right now, but it's not the 6 she offered. Whilst they wait to hear if she can raise the rest of the money, Gary and Connor start an inventory of goods they could seize to offset the balance.
Feels like real gold. It's heavy.
But then Kerry arrives, and Gary is in for an unexpected surprise.
I didn't know you were pregnant when when we were just talking about it earlier. I'm going to help you out, right? If your granddad can pay the £4,000 now, we'll leave.
Each situation is different and everybody's different to the next, so I try not to look at things and make judgments before I actually speak to people, because it's very easy to do that, and if somebody's pregnant then you really have to change the angle that you're coming at.
Kerry's granddad's payment of £4,000 goes through, and Kerry has now promised to get the other £2,000 by the end of the day. Gary draws up the arrangement.
£4,000 paid now, £2,000 paid by 5 p.m. today, and then £100 a month starting 1st of April.
Finally, the case is resolved for now.
That's it. Stick to the arrangement, that way we don't need to come back. Well, we'll leave you in peace anyway. Take care, guys.
Okay,
thank you.
See you later.
See you later.
It's been a surprising result for Gary and Connor.
I think the client will be happy with this. Nice little village like this in the middle of Kent. The last thing anybody wants is enforcement agents knocking on doors, because it's pretty much obvious what we are and who we are, what we're doing.
And we're not exactly a bag of crisps, are we?
Bag of crisps?
Yeah, we're not small, we're not discreet.
Faced with a delicate situation, Gary and Connor got a good result. But in Stuart and Vic's next case...
I don't have the money.
Let me just explain, sir.
I don't have the money.
A debtor who says he can't pay pushes Stuart to the limit.
That belongs to the limited
You touch me again, sir, I'll phone the police. You touch me again, sir, I'll ring the police and you'll be
Then
arrested.
ring the fucking police.
Research has revealed that stagnant wage growth and the rising cost of living are major factors contributing to escalating levels of personal debt in the UK. Over the past decade, more than 50% of Britons have seen an increase in their living costs, whilst a quarter of people claim their income has stalled completely or even fallen. High Court enforcement agents Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor are in Prestwich, Lancashire. They have a writ to collect a debt of almost £1,800 owed in unpaid parking fines by Graham Morris. Stuart has some details of the car Mr. Morris drives.
So tell me about Mr. Morris.
Mr. Morris, he's got a Mercedes CL500 outside. It's an old one.
Mr. Morris, an accountant, incurred the fines after parking his Mercedes without buying a valid ticket.
Is this the one here?
Here it is, this one here.
He had been paying off the debt by instalments, but he's defaulted. Now he must pay back the money he owes in full today.
Hello, Mr. Morris. My name's Mr. McCracken. I'm a High Court enforcement agent. Here with a High Court writ, sir. The total amount of £1,762. Are you able to make payments? If not, we are instructed to remove goods, sir.
I don't have the money at the moment.
Right, okay. The total balance at the moment is £1,762.84.
No, it's not. It's £1,000. You stuck 600 quid on costs.
At the moment, sir.
You
That's
stuck
right.
600 quid on costs.
That's at the moment, sir.
How do you justify 600 quid on a £1,000 debt?
Well, that's something you need to take up the court, sir, not with us. So we can go around in circles with this all day long, so I'm going to change the situation, sir. Unless the balance is paid, we're here to remove the goods.
Yeah, can I have that?
There's your copy, sir.
I'll give you a copy of your paperwork, sir.
Left
There you
Don't
go.
fucking grab things off like that.
You grabbed it, sir.
With the door open, Stuart takes the opportunity to make peaceful entry into the house.
Paying this debt off at £100 a week,
Right.
you know what's going on.
Okay, so the claimant...
Don't act stupid.
I'm not acting stupid.
Yes, you know, most of this debt has been paid off.
Right.
There's an outstanding balance then, sir.
So what we're here to do now, sir, is to collect the balance. If not, we're instructed to
If the
remove
balance
goods.
is paid in full.
I don't have the money.
Let me just explain, sir.
I don't have the money.
All right.
Right, I've had to close my fucking office down. Right, and I've had to lay staff off. I don't have the money.
Okay.
You have been making payments towards it, though.
Yes, I have.
Why have you stopped?
I've got no money coming in. I'm due money in this week. That's from somebody that's owed me money for 8 months.
Yeah.
I was going to ring your company up and I was going to offer them 300 quid and then start making payments again. I owe money on North West Water and I'm paying them off at £100. And there's a limit. There's a limit to what I can do.
Yeah.
It's clear that Mr. Morris is facing financial difficulties, but the agents are duty-bound to get this case resolved one way or another. Stuart goes to clamp Mr. Morris's Mercedes outside and calls for a vehicle check.
We're currently at the property at the moment. We've seized a vehicle, a Mercedes CL500. Could you do HPI on it, please?
Blueberg CL500 Auto. Yeah, clear finance.
The vehicle, I reckon, is worth about 750 quid.
Okay.
As the car appears to be worth less than half the value of the debt, the agents will have to look for other assets inside the house to offset the balance.
We'll have to remove goods, sir.
Then remove the car.
Okay, and we'll be removing goods inside the property as
The
well.
property as well. That won't cover the debt, sir, not that vehicle. It's of the age.
So there'll be goods inside the property as well, so and if we do
Well, this
do
is
that,
rented property. It's owned by my sister.
what about the goods, sir?
I'm going to get my sister down. It's her property.
Yeah, if you haven't got any evidence to prove the goods belong to her, then we will be removing
No,
them,
you
sir.
won't.
We will be, sir.
No, you won't.
Yes, we will, sir.
No, you won't. It's her property.
Right. You keep saying that, sir, but it's not going to stop what we're
It's
doing
got a
today.
fucking land registry.
Okay,
fucking
don't swear at
proves
me,
it.
sir. I'm not swearing at you.
Get off my property.
I'm not going anywhere, sir.
It's quite frustrating for us when the debtor doesn't want to play game. I mean, if we're there to resolve the matter or try and work with them, and he's just not interested in even talking to you, it's frustrating because at the end of the day, we know we will get it resolved one way or the other. But before it gets to that stage of removing, we would like to resolve the matter.
Mr. Morris calls his sister. Whilst they wait for her to arrive, Stuart starts an inventory.
So how long have you rented this house, sir?
7 years.
7 years. And everything in the house was in the house when you
Yes.
moved in? Right, even that TV isn't 7 years old, let's be honest. So you're saying that your sister bought that for you?
No, I bought that.
Right, there we go, sir. So there are goods in here that belong to you.
Okay, take the fucking TV.
Yeah, there we go, sir.
Take the fucking TV. Do you know what? Because of your attitude, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not going to pay a penny now.
The TV seems to be the only asset inside worth seizing. But then Stuart spots something.
That laptop belongs to my limited company.
Okay.
Leave it alone.
Okay, so have you got any, can you just prove that with some
Yeah,
documentation?
the invoices are at my office.
Okay, no problem. What we'll do is we'll get it removed today. It is then stored.
That belongs.
Don't touch me.
That
Sir,
belongs to.
do
That
not
belongs
touch
to the
me.
limited
You touch
company.
me again, sir.
That
I'll phone the
belongs to
police.
my limited
You
company.
touch me again, sir. I'll ring the police and you'll be
Don't ring the
arrested.
fucking police.
With Mr. Morris in direct conflict with Stuart, the case has taken a nasty turn. Stuart must try and make Mr. Morris understand that the laptop will be seized unless he can provide proof it belongs to his company. But he's not backing down.
This will be removed. It's being removed at the moment, sir. Don't try and obstruct me doing my job, sir.
That belongs to my limited company.
You will have time to get documentation together, that's fine.
So I'm going to do now, so I'm going to secure this in the van to believe that you try and take it and try and hide it. Okay?
That's fucking outrageous.
The defendants use tactics that are aggressive, abusive. It just makes us more determined, and it doesn't throw us off the scent. It keeps us tracked on exactly what we want to do. It makes us even more determined to get a result.
The agents have been in the house for 20 minutes when Mr. Morris's sister, Fiona, arrives.
Morning.
Morning.
He's in there.
Good morning.
What is it? Needs to be brave.
I told them it's your property and I told them the contents belong to you and they need proof.
Can I discuss the case with your sister?
Yes, you can.
Right. There's a gentleman who was on a payment plan but he stopped paying. And now we're instructed to collect the full outstanding balance. The vehicle has been seized outside and that won't cover the debt, so we'll have to remove goods from the property.
Everything here belongs to me.
Well, that TV doesn't. We've already established that, so I'm not going to go around in circles.
I want to talk to my brother on my own.
Yeah, sure, but we won't be leaving the property. We'll go in a different room, but we'll have to stay in the property.
Please bring another room.
Yeah, of course, not a problem.
Sometimes defendants get themselves into a mess, a financial mess, maybe a business venture that's gone wrong. Due to no fault of their own, they find themselves in a situation where we're on their doorstep. 9 times out of 10, it's usually parents or brothers and sisters that actually help the person that's in distress, which is a good thing to see.
Minutes later, the debtor's sister wants to start negotiating.
Is there a certain amount that could be given today to give my brother an opportunity?
It needs to be paid in full.
He's been on a payment plan already.
It's already been broken.
And he's broken it, so that's why the client wants the money all.
And how long are you prepared to give?
It's 7:10 now. As a gesture of goodwill, give it till 8:15. And that's us being here for nearly 2 hours.
The deadline has been set. If the money can't be raised in full in the next hour, Mr. Morris's assets will be seized.
I'm leaving the property to do something and then I'm going to come back.
Okay, no problem. Do you know how long that'll be roughly?
8:10, did you say?
Yeah.
8:10.
Yeah.
Right.
I told them the truth. He goes off to see if you can get sort the money out for me.
With Mr. Morris's sister gone to try and raise some funds, Stuart tries to find out more about the case.
Graham, where's the parking from?
They're a private parking company that states quite clearly that the first 2 hours are for free.
Yeah.
Now, I used to go there first thing in the morning for coffee, so I never stayed there more than an hour.
No.
And a lot of times I would turn up before 8 o'clock. It was a ticketing machine, and the machine didn't get turned on till 8.
Right.
And then they'd slap tickets on.
Well, it must have been a few times.
15 tickets.
Yeah.
I'm going to appeal this.
Yeah. You feel entitled to appeal it. That's entirely your choice.
To us, a writ is black and white. Okay, I'm not the judge. You can tell me your story, you can tell me your life story. I can't change anything on that day about the outcome of the writ. It's not going to change anything because the writ is active and it stands and we have to execute it.
5 minutes before the deadline expires, Fiona comes back.
I'm going to make the payment today.
Right.
This is a debit card.
Okay.
Right, okay.
Insert your card now. Right, you can just enter your PIN.
She offers to pay her brother's debt in full.
Let's talk about it afterwards, please.
Yeah, it's gone through.
The card is accepted. And Mr. Morris's debt is cleared by his sister.
That's all your paperwork. Keep hold of that.
That's your laptop. All right, Graham, we'll be on our way.
The agent's perseverance has paid off.
Yeah.
Cracking work, mate. Cracking work.
Last year, nearly 30% of people who sought advice from a leading debt charity owed money to family and friends. The average amount owed exceeded £4,500, while the total amount owed has risen by nearly £200 million since 2014. High Court enforcement agent Gary Brown and trainee Connor Jackson are in Havant on the south coast.
Miserable weather. Yeah, you can say that again.
They have a writ to collect just over £8,500 owed by Luke Ferrugia to a friend.
Going to go and pay a visit to Mr. Luke Ferrugia.
Okay.
To collect £8,591, 71 pence.
That's a lot of money.
Mr. Ferrugia borrowed the money from the claimant 6 years ago for a deposit on a house, but failed to pay it back. The case was escalated to the High Court, and now Mr. Ferrugia must pay the money he owes in full today.
Based on the weather, I'm hoping he lets us in.
Yeah.
Don't want to get my hair wet.
That dog's next door, mate.
Yeah, I heard a door close. I heard a bang. A dull thud. I just seen him. I know you're in, mate. I can see you through the window. Can you come to the door, please? Well, if you want to speak to me, I'll explain what this is about.
He's coming to the door.
I didn't realise you were coming to the door. My name's Gary Brown. This is my colleague Connor Jackson. We're here about a legal matter. This is a High Court writ.
Yeah.
Can I step in the dry?
Yeah, sorry, mate. Come here. Do you mind if I get dressed then?
All right, mate.
Mr. Ferrugia's girlfriend is also at home.
Were you involved in this as well? Or?
Oh God, no! I've only been with him 3 years. You're talking this happened 5-6 years ago.
Oh wow, okay, a long time ago then.
How much was he on for?
Well, he's taken you to court for 6,757.
No, he didn't even lend me that much. I think it was about 1,500 quid, £2,000, something like that.
With interest, court costs and legal fees now added, the scale of the debt has clearly come as a shock.
We're here to collect £8,597.
I ain't got 8 grand, so I ain't got anything worth 8 grand. The money that he's wanting is the money he gave me to pay for the deposit on the place that I was living at. Because I was living at my nan's and things. So look, I'll give you the money and that, you know what I mean, to sort of like help you get started and so pay back, mate. Don't worry about it.
Really? Did he said don't worry about it?
Yeah, that's what, honestly.
Because I wouldn't say that if I'd lent you like 6.
No, I wasn't.
Now Gary needs to get this case resolved, one way or another.
What do you do for a living?
Ground worker, labourer. You know what I mean? So I bust my bollocks and I've got no idea this is going on, and then you turn up.
This writ here orders us to remove goods unless the debt's paid.
It's all her stuff.
So
Everything. It's in the Argos car, which is all mine. Sofas are my finance, car's my finance.
okay.
All of it's mine. He had nothing when I met him.
I'm not even working at the moment because I'm self-employed and that, and like I said, the majority of the shit in this house is hers.
With most of the assets in the house belonging to Luke's girlfriend, Gary changes tactics.
I'll be reasonable with you and I'll give you 15 minutes to make some phone calls, see if somebody can help.
I need time, mate. I'm self-employed, like I said to Matt, I've literally got fuck all. It's not, a morning isn't enough time to sort this out.
The clock is ticking. If Mr. Farrugia can't raise any funds before the deadline, he stands to lose what little he has. Gary and Connor were in Havant on the south coast.
I know you're in, mate. I can see you through the window.
Pursuing a debt of over £8,000 owed by Luke Farrugia to a former friend.
They didn't even lend me that much. I think it was about 1,500 quid.
The defendant said he couldn't pay.
Literally got fuck all.
But Gary set a deadline to see whether he could raise any funds.
I'll be reasonable with you and I'll give you 15 minutes to make some phone calls, see if somebody can help.
Now, while Luke makes some calls, Gary and Connor start an inventory of goods belonging to him they could seize to offset the debt.
Got all these different games down here, all these different consoles, and then there's loads of old ones there. 2 boxes of Halo limited edition, they're 40 quid each.
You got a GameCube. Be a shame to have to take all this stuff.
With little of value belonging to Luke inside the house, Connor checks out the garage and finds a motorbike. Worth as much as £500 at auction, the agents might finally have found an asset worth seizing. Connor checks the license plate online and goes back inside with the news.
We have a bit of an issue, guys. The bike is not on finance.
No, I forgot. I got out a loan for it.
What, motorbike? Mountain bike?
Motorbike. It's a Yamaha 125, so...
With his bike now at risk, Luke has an idea.
What about your name?
As a last resort, his girlfriend rings her grandparents.
Hello?
Hello?
That's not good, is it?
Well, it might be. It might not be that bad.
That's my granddad speaking to Luke. That's not good. He's probably just moaning at him that he's got me into shit.
Hang on.
Which one of you two's in charge?
Me.
Oh,
he's in charge.
Hello?
Hello there. How much are you able to...
Probably at 3.
3?
I mean, that's going to be the best that we're going to be able to do. We've got literally no one else to get any money on. That is it.
Okay. Okay, I'll accept £3,000. We'll do an arrangement for the rest.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. The older generation quite often bail out the younger generation, whether it's grandsons, granddaughters. I see it quite a lot. The older generation seem to quite often be those people that owe money tend to turn to, whether it's because they are a bit wiser in terms of managing money. I would imagine that's got something to do with it.
With a lump sum payment of £3,000, Gary now needs to put a payment plan together to clear the rest of the debt.
The conversation we need to have now is how much can you pay monthly?
Probably 50 quid, and I could probably say safely at the moment that I could probably pay that, but I don't want to say I'm going to pay more and then not be able to afford it and then have more shit and then have you come back here. You know what I mean?
Gary calls the office to see if the client will accept £3,000 today and £50 a month towards the £8,000 debt.
He wants it higher than that.
Right, okay. Bearing in mind the debtor's not in work at the minute, or when he does work, it's here and there.
I can only say what the client, James is telling me.
All right. Bye. Luke, they've just got hold of the client, and he said he's not accepting 50 quid a month. He wants more than that.
I've busted my ass to give you what I've got now, mate. I'm fucking on the edge.
I accept that, but that's his response.
So what's he going to think's a reasonable amount then? Because I could say £100 a month and he could still say no. And I'm not going to stay calm forever. I'm not being horrible. I know you're doing your job now. You've been in my house for 2 hours, fucking my shit up. I've got you £3,000. I'm not going any more than £100 a month. And that's me just clutching at straws just to get you out of my house now. If he says no to that, then there's nothing. I can't give you no more money. I ain't got nothing else. I ain't got nothing anyway.
Gary rings the office with the new offer.
All right, cool. Okay. Thanks, Gary.
It's good news.
My boss has said, set it up.
and we'll sell it to the client. Just make sure you stick to this, because I don't want to come back.
I don't want you to come back, mate.
Print there and sign there, please. Right, that's it. All right, mate. Hope you get it sorted, all right?
Yeah.
Take care.
The case is resolved for now, but if Mr. Farrugia doesn't stick to his payment plan, the agents will be back.
Sometimes the client just wants everything in one go, and you can't get blood out of a stone. It's not possible.
Well, they don't know the situation on the ground, though, do they? They just see it as, he owes me this much money, go and get it. You know, they don't know how people live day to day.
No. On to the next one.
The agents are back, new next Wednesday at 9. A pensioner's taking no prisoners on his street, not with the nightmare neighbour next door ripping up fence posts. New tomorrow at 9, but brand new next tonight. On-screen drama becomes a deadly reality in the EastEnders Murderers. True crime, real tragedy.